Oh my God, we're here.
And in this corner, 5'6" with hazel eyes, Michelle Milet. And in this corner, 5'6" with hazel eyes, Evan Stern.
Woo! It's cool that that's a description for both of us, and it's just it just makes sense to me.
Yeah, beautiful 5'6" hazel eyes. Did I say beautiful? Did I happen to?
You should have.
I should have said
next
that.
time.
Mistake.
Next intro.
Time. Hey, I think there might be more than one episode. So
yeah, that's usually how podcasts work. I hear.
Do you listen to a lot of podcasts?
I listen to so many podcasts.
Okay, you're going to be our podcast guru then. I'm going to have to refer back to you a lot.
My thing is I'm almost to the point that I have an inability to just be in silence. Like I have to have a podcast going, like doing my makeup, doing any sort of cleaning, walking the dog. I try to just be present with Clementine because that's important for bonding.
Clementine doesn't give a fuck if you're present with her. What are you talking about? She could care less.
No, she likes to be talked to and sang little songs.
I've heard you talk to your dog. Nana. She calls her Nana.
Okay, well, look, episode 1, I'm not going to do my dog voice yet.
You're not going to do your dog voice for us? I fucked that up. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm because I got in your way. You were about to do it. You were about to do it, and then I did it.
No, it's too intimate. I want to get to know our audience a little bit more
That's
first.
Fair. That's actually really fair.
Speaking of our audience, welcome to episode 1 of Spare Parts. Thank you guys for being here.
So happy to have you. You all look great tonight.
You look great.
You're folding your laundry so perfectly, Marie Kondo style. I'm just proud of you.
Ignoring your dog on a walk, whatever.
Nana.
I'm sorry, but it's actually nanny. So.
Oh, sorry. I don't understand. Could you?
No.
Okay.
Don't push. I will do the dog voice once I get a little bit more comfortable.
I
and
know
possibly,
you're going to do the dog voice. You don't have to tell me that you're I understand that you will do it.
It's highly specific. It's a highly specific voice.
Oh yeah.
Is this boring? Should we keep it
Is
moving?
this boring? Not at all. This is exactly what people are here for. They're here for this and to hear about the last time we got together, which was literally a week ago when we saw the Justin Timberlake concert.
We sure did. Okay, yeah. So weirdly, and also maybe potentially planned, so we could discuss this on our podcast episode 1, we all got together, well, not all of us, but a big group of the Letterkenny cast got together and we went to Toronto. And we were, where did we start with this?
I mean, you guys spent thousands of dollars to fly to Toronto and get some hotels and stuff like that because we were under the impression that Justin Timberlake was a fan of Letterkenny and had invited us to his show to meet us, which is, I mean, let's be, that sounds wild. I understand this, but this has happened to us before in other contexts. We've met other people who were like, you want to meet us? Why? But we hadn't seen each other in a long time, and we were like, this sounds great. It's going to be like all those other times where we get to go meet the person, and we end up having some beers and stuff.
Yeah.
This time, though.
Well, I was going to say also, we were under the impression, we received a formal invitation from him and his team saying, I'm a Letterkenny fan. I would love for them to come to the show. I'd like to meet them. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been like so sure that was like, yeah, like this is probably gonna happen.
I think we all assumed that we were going to at least get a handshake. I don't know if you were going to go for a kiss on the cheek. I don't know what your intentions were.
No, here's the thing. When there's somebody who is a famous person who you don't know, or anyone, a stranger, whatever, you're not touching them. I'm sorry.
Oh.
So we're invited to the show. We're like, oh, that's great and funny. And we'll all get to like reunite and have this kind of fun jokes night. So we go, we're invited to show up at the stadium at 4:45 p.m. The show starts at 9:30 p.m.
So almost 4 hours and 15 minutes early.
We're like, okay.
So we have to be meeting
right, because otherwise what the fuck are we doing here? And so anyways, we show up and we are taken on a really lovely tour.
Honestly, delightful tour. Shout out Chaz and Jeff. Both those dudes toured us like crazy. Like it was so nice. We got to meet so many people backstage who were literally seemingly the entire crew knew Letterkenny, which was lovely. A lot of really kind words there.
Yeah. We met some nice folks who worked hard. I guess this is like their 60th show or something. It's just such a massive production. We went on stage and stuff.
Oh, I learned. Like, he educated me about the JT lift. Apparently, it's the lift that they use to lift stages, and all super pop stars use it.
Why is it the...
It's called the Justin Timberlake lift. It was built for him. Yeah, his team was needed it first.
Oh.
The JT lift. I know. And now, like, Billie Eilish uses the JT lift.
Okay, I missed that. I missed that.
You weren't listening at all. You were just like, where's Justin? Where the fuck is he?
No. I was definitely engaged in what we were seeing, but I had a vibe, and I'll explain why I had a vibe. And I don't know.
Oh, you already knew we weren't going to meet him? How early?
Did I not tell you this?
I had faith the whole time. I thought until I got home that night that I was still going to meet him.
He's going to call you up.
He's going to call me like, Evan, I can't believe hey, buddy. Hey, little guy. What's up? That's how he sounds in my head. I don't know how his speaking voice.
Yeah. So I heard from a little birdie earlier in the day, and I don't know if we'll keep this in. We might bleep this part, but Jacob Tierney, because God, that man's connected. I mean, my God.
Yeah.
He heard, and then really, because we had a meeting, not to sound really cool and busy.
You had a meeting before the thing?
Yeah,
oh
with a network, Evan.
That's cool. I'm proud of you.
I'm never, you can't stop.
I can't believe you didn't tell me this before.
That's the thing.
That's so exciting. I guess there was a bunch of other people there. You don't want to tell me in front of all them.
Yeah. Well, and like...
You'd like to tell me in front of the
When there's something to tell, I'll tell. Yeah. Well, I trust you guys.
Yeah.
I trust you're not going to like snake my idea. Okay. So I was informed that basically... meeting of the Justin Timberlake completely off the table. There's going to be some kind of excuse made to get out of meeting us.
What?
And
how did you know?
Yeah.
You heard this before? I can't believe you told me this.
Yeah. I know. But then because of who is coming from Jacob Tierney, I don't mind throwing him under the bus. Yeah. You never know with Tierney.
He also might be lying, but he never is.
I know, but he knows everything in this way that is, but I also was like, yeah, okay, you just want to be a bit like punky and jaded right now, and I'm just going to keep 5% of the faith.
He didn't even come to the concert. He went to a Spice Girls tribute show instead of coming to the concert with us, his friends.
Yeah.
I should have known.
Yeah. Well, and then once I arrived, and I kind of was picking up on the vibes that this tour going a bit too long. They're trying to bide some time. We've got our kind of lovely production tour guide checking his phone a lot. I noticed a light sweat. I was like, oh, there's a bit of a stress going on.
A light sweat. I could see
Not
it.
in a weird way, but I could see
in like a hunting
light.
way. You're like a werewolf.
Yeah.
You can sniff
I can
his
sniff
fear.
it out.
You know.
Yeah, I can sniff it out.
I know you went up and asked. You straight up went up to the guy.
Okay, well, let me get to it. So then we're taken into this little room, and we're all just like awkwardly standing there. And I kind of am like, well, I'm gonna have to be the one to ask. Obviously, within this dynamic, I will be the one to ask. I always knew that, and so I do. And I walk up to our lovely guide, and here's where. God, I hate to be this person, but I don't think we can actually share what the excuse was because it's going to it makes me feel uncomfortable.
No, but not,
but
not sharing the excuse might be worse because it sounds like he pooped himself.
No, and that's not
it. It does sound like that though. It sounds like something bad happened. And to be fair, we were under the impression that we were going to meet him. We were all really excited to meet him. We were told we couldn't meet him because, the stars didn't align that night. There was, someone in his entourage who his pal who he normally chills with, like wasn't there. And I think it's probably a bit of a buffer situation, which I totally get. It's sort of like a handler. Like we have handlers when we're at conventions who make us feel safe. He doesn't know that we're not fans who are going to tear his face off and rip his eyes out. I might do that. I might climb him.
Yeah.
I might lose my mind if I met Justin Timberlake. I've never lost my mind meeting anyone, but what if I met JT?
Yeah.
And I caught a whiff of his cologne and I just, he needs his guy. So whatever happened, that's kind of, it's something in that world.
Yeah, it was just one of those situations where it was like, we had a nice time. Look, we like went to dinner after we got the news that it was like never going to happen. Yeah. Lol, we were all here for this one reason.
You could feel the sadness kind of way on everyone a little bit.
Well, to be okay, but imagine inviting a cast of a show that you like and then not giving anyone a heads up, and then they come 4.5 hours earlier, and then they're just sort of standing around awkwardly like a bunch of humiliated fools.
Is that how you
and
felt? You felt humiliated? Oh no.
It was a little humiliating.
We were trapped in a room eating carrot sticks, like a bundle of rabbits eating carrot sticks, waiting like, is Justin gonna come out?
It was like we were on a school field trip.
It was a lot like a field trip.
And I was like, dude, you invited me here. What the fuck?
Okay. And to be fair, we actually did stay for the concert. So we went out, we had some drinks.
And the concert was great.
We went to the concert. It was a box. It was a really great view. But then when we got up close, because halfway through the concert, he moves to a close location. We all go running down to the not running is an exact. Okay, we go down to the.
Yeah, please don't make us sound like we're.
We waddle
fans.
over
Sorry.
Against our will to the front of the stage, casually, very cool. And I think each of us probably tried to make eye contact with him a little, if I'm not mistaken.
That's probably accurate.
Yeah, like because he was
just as like a test.
He's 2 feet away.
I was like,
does he even know us?
Yeah, I was like, I'm starting to doubt this whole thing. Am I losing my mind?
Maybe he didn't invite us. And maybe, in fact, this is just like some PR thing where it's like, you just invite people. But he doesn't need PR.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah, also, that's crazy. But I wonder if it was some sort of miscommunication.
Well, it turns out the rest of his tour was canceled because he has bronchitis and laryngitis. So maybe he was just feeling the tickle. Maybe he wasn't feeling well. But I think that probably could have been told to us a little earlier. And then we would have been like, oh, maybe we don't show up at 4:00. Maybe we just come to the show and have fun and know that we're not going to meet him. Because even after the show was done, we were kind of like, do you think he saw us in the crowd and like kind of is going to be like, hey, actually go get those guys. I forgot I invited them.
Yeah, I'm like, should we linger?
Yeah.
Should we go
and
back
like,
to the bar?
Get the fuck out. Like we're like drinking in the box and we're the last ones in the Scotiabank Arena.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, cast of Letterkenny.
It was
humiliating.
It was borderline humiliating in this way that
I kind of liked it.
No. Is like ultimately maybe a better story than just having like a 5-minute hi, nice to meet you with this person that we don't know. And you know what? It got us all together.
Yeah.
That's our Justin Timberlake.
That's our Justin Timberlake story. He's great though. Great singer.
Oh, such a good singer.
Oh my God.
I will say I was very impressed. Like he sang full 2 hours, hit every note. Got chills. I appreciated all of his dancing as well.
I'm a bigger fan of his music now than I was before.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Are you less of a fan now because of what he did to you and your friends?
Well,
oh no.
No, I think that he was a childhood staple in my life, I suppose, as far as artists go. As an adult, I'm not really, but I think he's great. And I was very impressed with the show. It was just like sort of weird. Totally.
Yeah. Totally. And you're never gonna put on Senorita ever again. You're done.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it, baby.
Way to really fuck it up, Justin.
Yeah, you fucked it up, buddy.
Just kidding.
No.
We hope you recover and we hope you can get back on the road when it makes sense for you.
You're going to hate this. I got to tell you this one last thing about Justin Timberlake, and then we're going to talk about the first episode of Letterkenny. I swear, guys. I swear we're going to do it.
Okay. Stay with us.
I made a get ready with me TikTok that I never posted where I'm like, here's where to meet Justin Timberlake.
See, it's humiliating.
So
we are humiliated.
I blocked that out of my memory though until you were saying all this. You kept saying humiliating. And I was like, wait, what's humiliating? And then I was like, oh my God. I like show my pants. I like land in my pants, like the whole thing, and like did my like skincare.
Oh.
I was like, what kind of scent would Justin like? Like did like a.
That is tough.
That's tough. Okay.
God.
Maybe that's too much. Maybe you have to delete that story because it's too depressing. We're getting sad.
I like it.
We're getting sad now. We have to bring it back up.
No, I think it adds context. I would also like to just talk about your outfit choice because it was a gorgeous pair of sweatpants and some kind of wolf t-shirt.
It was a tiger t-shirt and some fancy chrome hearts sweatpants. Because I thought he would think they were cool.
What I would like to think moving forward is that he really wanted to meet us. He just wasn't feeling well, and fair enough. And it had nothing to do with anything else.
He definitely caught a glimpse of us. He like peeked out behind the curtain. He was like, oh God. And then just closed it and didn't come out because he didn't want to see us.
Damn.
Sorry, Michelle.
Next time.
Next time. So Letterkenny.
Yeah, should we talk about Letterkenny now?
Yeah, let's talk about the first episode of the show. We worked on this show for a really long time. That's how we know each other. And we both are going to rewatch every single episode, I guess, if you guys like this podcast. If you enjoy this, we'll watch every episode. If you hate this, though, we could stop anytime you want.
You tell us how to navigate our career and we'll listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You let us know. I mean, if you give us a bunch of 5-star ratings on like the various platforms, that might convince us that you might enjoy it.
That'd be a good signal.
It's a good signal. But for now, let's just talk about how the first episode felt for us watching for the first time again in 10 years? I don't know. When's the last time you saw this?
Yeah, when it came out in 2016.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay, so should we start with like, how did you get on the show?
I auditioned. Yeah, I auditioned for Stuart. That was the only audition at the time, was like the Stuart role. And it said, likes to dance like Michael Jackson. And so I went in and I remember I was auditioning for it. I was practicing with my friend Amy, and she was like, he's like a little boy in his father's big suit. Like, that's his energy. And so I went in with that, like, you know, and I'd seen the web series before. They had the cold open with the hockey players. So I kind of delivered the lines just dead to camera as fast as I could. And then I did a little breakdancing. And they were like, okay, you're definitely not Stuart, but we're going to make a role for you. His name's Rold. He's gay. He breakdances. How you feel about that? And I was very, very excited. So that's pretty much it.
I mean, that's such a testament to your talents. Them being like, we don't have a place for him, but we are going to literally write a role so that he can be a part of this project. That's huge.
His name's actually Rold, not Roll.
What did I say?
You said
did
right.
I say
you
roll?
you said write a role. I was doing it.
Okay.
Doing
that was a joke.
It's like
you're doing a bit. Yeah.
We're professional. We're supposed to be professional comedic actors. Actually, is what we're supposed to be.
Oh, I see.
But
and
we got depressed. We got depressed from the Justin Timberlake conversation.
I know. It's been a tough week.
Get it back up.
It's been a tough week.
You would have caught that on any other day.
Any other day, honestly, like, yeah. I'm just still in a grief period, but I'll be out of it next episode.
Shit. How did you get involved in the show? You auditioned as well, right?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people have better stories than us because they were like
friends with Kiso from his hockey team.
Beer league. Yeah, like hockey stuff. Yeah, no, I auditioned. It was actually after a pilot season in LA where I was feeling a bit dejected by the industry, I would say.
Oh, damn.
And
well, fuck them.
Yeah. Well, it was good and it was fine, but I kind of came back to Toronto and I was just a bit like, maybe I gotta go to university finally. You know?
And study then, what? What would you go do?
I don't know.
We got to go on this tangent for a whole episode. I want to know all the different careers you could have had. Oh my God.
I've got some answers. But yeah, we'll touch on that at a later date. But yeah, and then I got this script and I was like, what is this? And I called my manager and I was like, I don't understand what they are saying. Right. He's like very, very LA guy. Shout out Andy. Love you. Love you, Andy. And he was like, no, it's like very Canadiana. I was like, but I'm Canadian. I've never heard these words in my life. He's like, I guess it's rural Ontario. And then he sent me the YouTube because I was in the dark. I didn't know about Letterkenny at all.
You didn't have like hockey friends growing up, or you didn't grow up in a hockey town at all?
Not really.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
West Coast, like there's hockey, obviously, but it's very different than Ontario out west, especially Vancouver Island. It's crunchy. It's granola more than hockey.
Yeah, and we didn't really have any of those characters in Letterkenny. There was no like hiker group. They only made fun of people who drank, green juices and said LA. Like that was the closest we got.
Yeah, we had skids though, for sure.
For sure you got skids out west. Oh yeah. Every town's got skids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're everywhere.
They are.
Yeah, so anyways, and then I went into the audition and I felt unsure how I had done, which is kind of usually how it goes when you've done a decent audition, is you kind of leave feeling a bit like, I don't know what I just did.
Yeah,
I hope that
black
was
out.
fine.
Then you wake up and you forget all about it.
Yeah.
And then a phone call comes in a couple weeks later or whatever.
Yeah, and it was like a couple weeks later, and I'd almost not forgotten about it because I deeply cared for the project from day one. Don't worry, guys. But
I was like, really?
But when you do auditions and you're like, I need to forget that this happened so that I don't agonize over it. It was exactly
you felt that way because
and
I guess after the pilot season, you were like excited to audition for this like kind of lead role in in another TV show that's Canadian, like of all things. Like what the heck? Get to stay at home.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know if it clicked that it was a lead role. It was I just got off the plane from LA. I was like, got this audition. It was so quick. And then I just kind of was like, whatever that was.
Right.
And then off to Sudbury I went.
So do you...
Which is where we shot.
Which is where, yeah, she just drove to Sudbury, moved there. Do you recall the conversation with your agent? Were you like, do you remember any of that, the excitement, or were you just filled with dread? New project, terrified.
No dread, just like shock and excitement.
Okay.
I think the first was that I was on hold, which is often, and then usually a few days later, they'll let you know kind of which way it's going. Yeah, I was really excited.
I have the horrible thing where it's like every time I'm on hold for something, I'm like, oh, I've got it. Like that means I have it.
Oh.
I always do that. And my wife, Alana, is the exact opposite. She's like, oh, hold means nothing.
Means nothing.
So I'm always filled with disappointment when I'm on hold for something. I'm excited for everything when I'm on hold. I'm like, oh yeah, I booked this, I booked that. And then they call you and it's just like the rug pull.
Yeah, and I don't really know what's better. You're an optimist and maybe I'm a pessimist. And that's why we get along.
And there's probably something in the middle that we could both learn from.
Yeah, I don't like to jinx things. I think I'm a little bit superstitious. So I don't really...
You believe in jinxes, huh?
A little bit, I think.
Wow. Yeah, that's eerie. That would be very scary to live life believing in jinxes. I don't know if I can do that.
When it comes to acting, I feel like I shouldn't. Anytime I talk about stuff too much, and it's hard because, I don't know, people sort of like ask, like you do with anybody, you ask about somebody's job. But for us, if we're actively on a show, then you can just be like, yeah, the show. But if you're not, everyone's just saying like, oh, what do you have coming up? What are you auditioning for? And it's hell.
I can't wait to tell people we have a podcast because my God.
I know.
Right
I
now,
need something.
Just like, what else are you fucking working on? It's like, just like, first of all, anything we do work on, we have to sign like an NDA. So we end up sounding like vague assholes if we do have something we're working on. Because it's like, there's something going on. It's like a show or a movie or something. And like, I don't know. I can't really talk about it.
Yeah.
I can't really talk about it. Like,
I know. It's like, who do you think you are?
Exactly.
Justin Timberlake?
I would never want to be as famous as Justin Timberlake. That sounds awful.
The pressure seems insane.
Oh my God.
And there is a very real possibility that this podcast is going to be so big that we're going to be absolutely rocketed. Rocketed?
Yeah, we're going to be rocketed. We're going to play the same venue that we saw Justin Timberlake play. We're going to go to Scotiabank Arena.
Yep. Sell it out.
20,000 people. Sell it out just to do the Christmas episode of Letterkenny.
It's a 20-minute show.
It's a 20-minute show. You're in and out. But there's a 4-hour tour before the show starts.
Yeah, we're going to show you all the scaffolding.
Yeah. We have a lot of set pieces for this. This is a fake wall.
Yeah.
We're in the same room right now. We're just pretending we're not.
Yeah, pretending that we're bi-coastal because that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Pretty cool. You're out in Victoria right now?
Yeah, I'm in Victoria. You're in Toronto.
I'm in Toronto.
Yeah. So that's how I got on the show. And then met. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why we're here. Yeah. So anyways, blah, blah, blah. And then I wanted to also touch on, I remember the first time I met you because yes. And this is funny. And I was thinking about this earlier this week. So I met all the guys and we went to like a restaurant because you arrived a little bit later. I feel like I was there for a few days and I met like Tyler, Andrew, Dylan, Nate, Jared, and Jacob
They all showed up from the West Coast. Everyone flew in from Vancouver. Most of you were living out there.
Yeah.
Everyone flew in a little early, a couple days early. You guys must have bonded.
Yeah, so I met everyone, which was a trip, obviously. And I was worried, and then I met them, and I was like, oh, this is going to be fine. They're
a bunch of freaks,
just
for real.
Such freaks.
Such freaks. Such a motley crew.
And then I met you for the first time on set. We hadn't started shooting yet, but I was doing like wardrobe in the trailer.
Okay, yeah.
Or in the makeup room.
I had a feeling that it was like makeup or trailer or something in my mind as well.
Yes. Okay, so you're in no, you weren't in your costume. You were in like kind of like, because Evan's a dancer. Well, you know this, but he's a dancer. And I am also a dancer. Let me share that in common as like a background.
5'6", hazel eyes dancer.
So I meet you and I open the trailer and there you were. And we introduced ourselves. And I don't know how, but within 5 seconds, it was made aware to me that you are a dancer. And I don't know how
Okay, not
or
by
why
me, though. There's no world I was like, hello, Michelle. Like, I wouldn't have done that. So just to clarify.
For those just listening, he just did kind of like a worm move with his hands.
Kind of like a worm. Jesus,
It was
insulting me to the
perfectly
bitter
done.
end.
No, it was perfectly done.
No, it was bad. I'm cramped. I have a blanket fort around me that they can't see. I literally have 1 foot on either side right now. I'm very contained.
Okay, so in my brain, instant judgment, because if you've grown up in dance, I'm sorry, but sometimes a fellow dancer, they're always looking for an opportunity to do a move. They're always wearing some kind of like,
show me the splits again.
why are you always wearing a tearaway pant? And like my guard was a bit up instantly where I was like, oh God, is this guy, and is he going to be kind of like trying
That's
to be
wild
a bit
to me.
suave all the time?
Whoa,
And like,
me?
Yeah,
Honestly,
I know.
thank you. This is
Yeah.
shocking. All this information is wild to me. I've never had this effect on anyone. So thank you.
But I think also there was something like we were both nervous. And like,
Yeah.
and so you're kind of, there is a bit of a like formality. And just because I knew you were like a hip hop dancer, I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy's going to suck. And then
It must have been like a PA told you or like Jared told you because he probably saw my audition,
yeah, I bet Jared told me actually.
knows I'm a break dancer, loves, if you guys don't know, Jared
Loves-
loves dancing.
He
loves
loves
break
dancing.
dancing, loves EDM style dancing, loves shuffling. He's like a big fan of dance.
By the
like,
way,
straight
he
up.
won't do it himself for clarity.
No.
He likes to watch it and know
In the
about
show,
it.
he'll do it for fun because he needs it in the show a little bit, but he's seen thousands of hours of dance footage.
Yeah.
I would argue he's as interested in dance as he is watching hockey fights. Like,
That's a
he just won't
crazy
admit it.
statement. And I love that.
I know. I think it's true.
Yeah, that checks out actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, then within like 5 seconds of that first like knee jerk kind of I was like, oh, sweetie pie, we're fine.
Okay. I'm glad you came to that conclusion relatively quick.
Oh, it was quick.
That's nice.
But it was just,
Okay.
I have dance trauma, I think. And it just really reared
course.
its ugly head. And then
You danced in front of the queen. You used to
Yeah.
be like a competitive Highland dancer. That must be some intense rigor. I can't even imagine the rigors of Highland dance.
coolest style of dance.
Your calves were probably enormous all your teen years.
Yeah, I had a 6-pack.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was cool.
Nice. Were you the type to walk around and be like, punch me, go for it, punch me this time?
No, but I was always in a tearaway pant. Always just kind of, if I
Cool.
need to dance, I can dance. I'm in a Puma.
You're projecting. When you met me, you
I
were
know.
projecting.
This is kind of what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I was like,
Okay.
I went,
Because you'll do a twirl on set. You will. Like, if I look away and look back, sometimes when you're bored, you'll do a big twirl.
I will, or I'll do, this
true.
is tough, but I will do a bit of a tap dance when I'm bored. It's like
I can
a fidget.
picture the exact tap, too. Like, I know exactly the move.
Yeah, I've done it a few times.
Yeah, you have. I never noticed that. I never put that together because you're never wearing a tap shoe, so you don't
No.
hear it. It's a soft shoe.
Yeah, it's in a sneaker.
Huh.
Yeah, so look at us now. We've really overcome.
Yeah, look at us now, professional dancers. We've. The one thing I will say is I am upset that you never got to dance on the Letterkenny live tour.
Yeah, I know.
It was just me. Why didn't you come out there and show? Like, people would have lost their goddamn minds.
Well, I guess because at that point we would have already been in character and it wouldn't have made sense because
Why is
Katie
Katie dancing?
with Rolled were sort of enemies.
We
low
are
key.
absolutely, I think, honestly, maybe the biggest rivals in the show secretly, almost
Yeah.
like a Dwight and Pam best friend enemy rivalry.
Yeah, a lot of looks, a lot
Yeah.
of like side eye,
Oh, yeah.
tense. We haven't even started talking about the episode. Oh God. Okay.
Oh, Letterkenny, right. So we both auditioned. It went great. We nailed
got
it,
it.
10 out of 10. We got to Sudbury. We spent the full month on like in summer camp essentially at this like hotel with all the cast, all the crew.
Yep.
It was a clusterfuck of drinking and smoking and hanging out a lot.
Oh yeah.
And really just getting to know each other.
Yeah. And the first season we have so much to talk about just because behind the scenes stuff. Because we partied very hard, I will say.
Some more hard than others. More hard. Some harder than others.
That's how you know
And I
that
think
Evan and I were not the ones
No,
partying.
we got
Because we
out
don't even know how to
relatively-
talk about it. Party
We're
hard.
unscathed. Party harder, you guys.
You guys.
Yeah,
Hey,
no,
cool.
We were there though. You're cool too.
We saw it. We drank
saw
a lot
so
of
much
water.
stuff. Oh my god,
I saw so much stuff.
I saw so much stuff, you guys.
Yeah, we saw a lot. We participated I'd say about 2%.
Well, which is why we should be doing this podcast talking about the spare parts behind the show, because we were the sober ones who could witness it all.
Yeah. We watched it all go down. I mean, I did have a couple of moments, I will say, but
oh, you can have fun when you have fun.
Yeah.
When you decide you're drinking. Toronto party girl Michelle. I know she lives in Victoria now. She used to live in Toronto, you guys.
Yeah, I did.
There was a different Michelle buried in there somewhere. Used to date DJs and stuff, okay?
I know, it's crazy.
It's a different Michelle. But she would just rear her head occasionally.
Yeah, and I'm excited to have all the DJs, come on the pod and talk about it. Talk about their experiences, how they're doing, any new mixes coming out.
Let's have DJ night where they all do a mix.
They all.
For the episode. Yeah, each one will. There
was one. Anyways, okay, so Letterkenny pilot. Guys, pilots are hard. I mean, this is our pilot. Really, and we have so much that we don't even know where to. And what I think is so good about the Letterkenny pilot is Jared absolutely crushed it on doing what we're struggling to do, which is like finding a way to fit it all in and to establish a world and what it is and who the people are and what the tone is. And it's from second one with that first chirping scene with the boys coming in, it's just everything is set and you learn so much. You learn about Katie dating these two hockey players and that's just totally fine. And we just go with that.
Is what it is. Love that.
Yeah, love that. No problem. And then we've got this kind of intel on Jared has recently been cheated on, long-term relationship.
Who's Jared? I don't know who's Jared.
Wayne.
Who are you talking about there?
Wayne. Our lead.
Don't fuck up this show, Michelle. Okay,
so
I need you to tighten up right now. Okay, tighten up.
Number one on the call sheet, Wayne, played by Jared Kiso. We find out that Wayne, he has been cheated on by the, we assume love of his life.
By his gal Angie.
Yeah,
by his gal.
When he was coupled up with Angie, he had kind of taken a back seat on, I guess, his former reputation of being the toughest guy in Letterkenny. So he stopped fighting. He got soft for her. And then she ended up cheating on him. So he made all these sacrifices for her. And then she broke his heart.
Yeah. And that's, the plot of the first episode of Letterkenny. And then it doesn't really, I don't want to say it doesn't change after that. But a lot of the show sure has to do with fighting and fucking.
Yeah. And friendship. The 3 F's, fighting, fucking, and friendship. Honestly, that could have been a shirt if... That's a cool tagline.
Pretty cool.
That's cool.
Spare parts, fighting, fucking, and friendship. Should we just take that? Is that ours now?
Maybe it's a hashtag for us.
Okay. Hashtag.
I know.
What year is it,
I
Michelle?
said it and then I instantly regretted it.
Oh my God. Holy.
Oof. Yeah, and it's like the whole first episode is kind of Wayne trying to get his identity back.
He's getting his mojo back. He's trying to get into some fights. All the men line up to fight him,
which is
at the end of the laneway.
So weird. But I guess maybe that's a small town thing that I just missed growing up. But
yeah, why do you think Katie doesn't want them to come up the property? What's that about?
I assume, especially in the beginning, it's because she knows that Wayne, her big brother, doesn't want. There's a rivalry there, so she does respect her brother. She's like, yeah, you can drop me off and you can pick me up, but like keep your distance because this is my territory.
Oh, you mean for the hockey players?
Yeah.
You have this quote where you're like, you can go for some scraps, bud. Hold on. You're like, sorry, you're gonna have to bear with me here. Every time I do a hick impression, it really throws me off. You can go for some scraps, bud, but keep it at the end of the laneway. Don't come up the property. Like you say that to him, and then he says it to everyone else after. You're the one who comes up with the rule.
Okay. Yeah, and again, I think maybe it's like, well, I have a little garden. This is my home. Like fighting is fighting, but like don't bring it inside. Is kind of my. Okay. That's how I. Understanding
Keep the outdoor dogs outdoors. You guys go do it at the end of the laneway. Don't come up the property.
That classic saying.
Rat ass can stay at the end of the laneway.
Totally. Rat ass.
Oh my God. That jump he did you remember that? Did you see that jump where he kicks his legs out to the side? He jumps like 7 feet in the air.
In the pilot?
Yeah. It's this moment. It's this incredible athletic feat where rat ass at the end of the property is ready to fight and he kicks his legs out to the side and jumps straight up in the air. And I've never seen a person do that. It was amazing. Cool.
Well, I'll have to go back and catch that.
I'm going to try it later.
I bet you could do it. You're a dancer.
Thank you so much.
Speaking of dance. We are introduced to the Skids finally about halfway, maybe like 3/4 of the way in, dancing outside of the Christian youth group meeting. Yeah.
Burning Bush Youth Group with Glenn. Oh my God. Jacob just being an absolute fucking monster on that stage. He's so good in that episode.
He's so good.
Glenn is such a good establishing episode for him.
It's perfect. Yeah. We know right away that this is a repressed pastor who, and potentially everyone attending this youth group is also repressed because a lot of the guys are on Grindr. Yeah. And meeting the Skids for the first time is so crazy in episode 1 because you guys are so fucked up and you're literally covered in sores.
Absolutely unhinged. Open wounds on our neck. It's disgusting. And at some point, production, like it came from the higher ups that they were like, we got to get rid of those sores. This is sad and gross. Like this isn't like, it's kind of funny, but it's mostly gross.
Yeah.
So that's why you see us transition a little bit later. But I mean, that initial dance sequence where we're just sweating and
methed out.
That was real drugs.
And that's such a crazy, I do sometimes forget that because Canadian TV can be a little bit tame often. And so the fact that your group is just openly talking about drugs and specifically meth and having the sores to prove it is pretty wild that Crave let us do that. So shout out Crave.
I guess it's because it's not on TV. It was on, I guess, streamer. Like they didn't, maybe that's partially what the difference was.
Freedom,
they were never going to see it on television.
Right.
That and like every joke in the show is about a finger up the bum. And it's just like, there's so many things that happen that are so crass, so crude. I mean, you and I, we're ladies. Like I don't speak like this.
No, I'm clutching my pearls.
Me too.
Yeah. No, I was shocked every day at work.
Yeah.
But yeah, we really had, the network gave Jared and Jacob a lot of freedom to kind of just like go off. And I think because Crave was a newer network at the time. Letterkenny was their first original show. Season 1 especially was incredibly low budget. So stakes are always
like $60,
high.
$70, something like that for the first season?
Yeah, maybe about $60. Is
that what it was?
Season
60
1.
bucks?
Yeah, something like
Pack
that.
Pack of beer, $60.
Yeah. And at the time
we had
I was
one
stoked.
Trailer for all of us. We all sat in one green room in one couch.
Yep. It was cute. It was bare bones and we were all trying to build something and obviously stakes are always high when you're making any type of show that people are going to consume and you want to prove yourself. But because the budget wasn't there, it did feel a little bit, we had some freedom, which I think is
super low stakes, right?
Yeah.
It didn't feel like, I don't know, to me it was like, oh, we're making a series of short films more so. Like it's the vibe. Like it was just so
it was
low
loose.
key and everyone was having fun. People were smoking on set. There was a huge barrel. People would smoke and toss it into a giant barrel. I was like, I've never been on a set quite like this.
I mean, it was a very, let's be clear, very professional set. Stakes again.
Oh yeah, so professional. No, it's a union set. Like no one got like, everyone was working regular hours. Everyone was like done it for 40, 50 years.
No one's
it's just
breaking
it all
any
happened
rules.
to hack darts. I'm sure there's some rules being broken.
Okay, loose set in some of the ways where it was just people were smoking. It was like we're sharing a green room.
Mm-hmm. We're going out every night.
Yeah, we're going out every single night. We're like, it's very summer camp vibes, which I think really contributed to what made us, first of all, bond so much so that like, ideally when you're working in an ensemble, the people actually connect and you actually have chemistry. Just makes especially comedy so much better.
Do you know how comfortable you have to be with your co-star in order to like do what Tyler and I do to each other and with each other? Like we had to get over some hurdles real quick.
Oh yeah.
Physically. And emotionally, physically, There's a lot of touching. Talking about being weird about hugging people. I just met this guy. I'm like, hi, I'm Evan. He's like, hi, I'm Tyler Johnston. Hi, I'm James Blake Johnston. And then immediately is like shoving his tongue down my throat and like dry humping me. Like, I'm like, what the fuck?
I know. Yeah, and it really, it provided the space for us to do that. And it's it's crazy to look back on. But I did still feel the pressure for sure. Where I was like, because you want a show that you're doing to carry on, and if it doesn't work, it's not going to.
It's a huge opportunity. Yeah. It's a new show, and you're you're one of the leads of it, and it's amazing.
It was
Often
amazing.
does that happen?
I know. Turns out, not that often. Okay,
Not that often, you guys. Well, we did it for like a while though, and it only just kind of finished. So I feel like you're due for another show here, and then you're going to be like, man, I really should have enjoyed that break instead of making a podcast with Evan.
I want to do this for the rest of my life. I can already tell.
Oh my God, you heard it here, folks.
I'm serious.
Doesn't even matter if you give us 5 stars. We're doing it.
I'm having so much fun.
Screw you guys. Me too.
Okay, so episode 1, we love the characters. Oh yeah, I wanted to also say quickly, being introduced to Lisa in episode 1 and her just coming in so hot and so funny and just like making the craziest choices that no one else would have been able to make and pull off like she did. Outstanding.
Gail is one of the most iconic characters in the show, for sure.
Yeah.
I want a Gail Funko Pop. I've never wanted a Funko Pop before.
But I want hers.
I'd love a Gail.
Yeah.
If you're out there, Funko, make a Gail. Lisa Codrington is such a talent because she's just the opposite of Gail in every possible way.
Yeah, no, she really is.
And so to see her come on set and then just change like that.
I know. So cool.
It's art.
And that was like so fun about seeing this episode again after so many years. It's like, oh, this is how we all establish our characters. And there's been minor adjustments over the years, but we really all found our character, the way they moved, the way they spoke, like so quickly. I'm impressed
You guys
by that.
especially. I'd say the Hicks were like, you guys were dialed in right away, especially after, I know we haven't gotten to the second episode yet, but that's where like the heart of the show comes in.
Yeah.
And I feel like you guys really dialed in. The Hicks are mean but sweet really quickly. Like you're not bullies, you're just shit talkers. And same with Hockey right off the fucking bat. They're so funny, they're so dialed in, they're so good.
They're so baby.
Little babies with their shirts off, taking their shirts off with their hairless chest.
Their baby skin. I was like, this feels wrong watching them.
What's your routine?
They look so supple.
So
they're
smooth.
just adorable.
Michelle.
They do. Their little cheeks.
Supple.
Their little baby cheeks. They're adults, so we can say this. But yes, they were
they're men who happen to look like little baby boys. Just babies, rosy cherub boys.
Yeah.
But the skids though, we weren't exactly dialed in yet because it was just a little too banana pancakes, I'd say off the rip.
Yeah.
But we get there, I think, pretty quick over the season. I think it takes maybe like that first season for us. But you guys are all really locked in.
But I do love how the skids come in so crazy because it did give yourselves, whether it was intentional or not, a place to go. You know, because people go through stages and they're obviously going through a lot, those skids. And so it's kind of cool to see them try to like sober up a bit more and start businesses over time and do all these things and then revert back to their old ways. But you guys came in, it was such a strong performance. It made me laugh so hard. I will say this on the record, the skids are my favorite and they've always been my favorite. They always make me laugh the most.
Hey.
It's true.
Thanks, Michelle. I'll let Tyler know because he's not going to listen to this. He doesn't want to.
Well, he doesn't know what podcasts are.
No.
He literally doesn't, which is...
Tyler is an old man who listens to his music on a gramophone. Like, I know he seems like he's this modern individual based on his character and all that sort of stuff. And he says a lot of words that he just does not know, to be honest.
And he won't look them up.
He won't look them up. No. He just asks me and I pronounce it and then he pronounces it the way I pronounced it. He likes to read his book. He likes to go on bike rides. He doesn't even like the internet at all.
No.
Doesn't want a part of this.
No. But we will have him on as a guest. I can't wait for that.
Oh, we're going to have so many guests and he's going to be forced to be on here many times.
Can't wait.
I can't even wait for that. That's going to be so good.
Yeah. I mean, this episode, I guess, like where I would leave it off is some observations. I think it's interesting that Katie is so obsessed with her brother being a fighter. I assume that's because she kind of just wants some muscle on her side.
Also, and wanting him to get laid. Like Katie wants both of those things for her brother. She wants him to get both of those in the episode, to be honest.
Which is interesting. I don't have that relationship with my brother.
Oh, no?
No.
You don't have that with your brother?
Nope.
That's weird.
But yeah, it's cool. It's progressive, I guess, and that's cool.
It's like a couple bros. You were saying this the other day, like Katie and Wayne are like the same. Like it's just a couple bros.
They are, they're very similar, and I think that is a cool thing that makes Katie's character work so well because she's obviously like dress the way she's dressed. She's very sex positive, but also very overtly sexual and sexualized. And that could go very wrong, and especially very male dominated cast, obviously. But because she's so strong and confident and so supported, and it's not even really discussed, it just is, it doesn't feel weird or vulnerable. You don't feel worried about her.
No, it's high fives all around when she has sex.
Yeah.
It's you're just one of the guys. You come out and it's like, hey, I just had sex with 2 hockey players. I was like, nice, good for you.
Yeah, and like, does Wayne really want to hear about it? No, but he's not going to. He's not going to shame her for it, and I think that's
not the only thing he talks about is the clothes occasionally, the not my forte back and forth. But that's like,
and
I mean, you are
enough.
wearing a. Is this in the first episode where you're wearing a white frilled cowboy two-piece
bikini? Yeah, a white bikini. Crazy choice. Yeah.
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 I don't know a human being on earth who would wear that, but I love that Katie would. So confident.
Yeah, she'd be tough to have as a sister, and he handles it very well.
That is a good takeaway, though, from the episode, is that that's part of like their relationship is a nice established thing in that. And at the end, when she shows up to get him back on the horse, swigging a bottle of whiskey and getting in a fight in the alleyway to defend Alexander's honor. Also hilarious actor.
Yes, so good.
Funny to see him. Oh my God.
Yeah, and it does establish, that's actually a very good point, because I think a character like Katie could be, if they didn't tie her in at the end, sort of being shown as standing beside her brother and almost telling him what to do and him listening. There's just like such a element of strength and kind of control in this way that makes you respect her, and so you don't feel like you are worried for her, I guess.
No, she's the true like matriarch of the Skids. Just projecting again. No, the matriarch of the Hicks, obviously. Like she is the one for all of them, for Daryl and for Squirrely Dan. Like she does that for them as well. Like they listen to her. She's always putting them in their place.
Yeah.
It's a nice established routine.
Well, it was smart. It was a smart choice from Jared and Jacob when they were like crafting the character. Because again, it's one of those roles that could have gone very wrong. And we've seen it gone wrong often.
Oh, we mostly see it go wrong, which is why it's such a refreshing thing to see like you be able to do it so right.
Yeah, but
now I'm going to compliment you for the next 20 minutes. No.
That's how they wrote her. It was so clear. So anyways, I do love that. And then it's kind of like...
No, come on. Very few people can pull that off, though, even if it's written like that, Michelle. You have to take some credit for the stoic, delivery and the way that you do it.
Thank you so much.
Because you're like, I know that you're a chill person. You're not like you are confident like she is, but you're very chill. You're not confrontational. Mm-mm. So to play such a confrontational character and do it so well, like you did do that. You're allowed to do a little one of these.
You
did it for a while.
Couldn't be more uncomfortable with. Thank you so much.
Well, get used to it. Get used to it, sister. Said she wanted to do 100 of these podcast episodes. I'm like, what do you think now?
Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that. But yeah, and I do love how it's kind of like establishes right off the get all the groups, and then Wayne kind of finally stepping back into his old self after a heartbreak. And then the iconic line at the very end of the episode, which is...
welcome to fucking Letterkenny.
I mean, what a zinger.
What a zinger. There's so many amazing, like, for the rest of the show, you hear pitter patter, you hear all the how are you nows, all that stuff is established in the first episode, basically.
Yeah.
Welcome to fucking Letterkenny. I love that. I love that. And if you go through my old tweets, this is a deep cut, but every time a season finished, I would do a like, welcome to fucking Letterkenny tweet. And I'd have like whatever photo it was from like the night after partying. And I would do a little thing. And it was just like this thing I kept coming back to because I was like, it's so good.
It's so good. It's a great,
it's our
great
welcome to the OC, bitch.
It is. It is. Wow. Yeah, it is. It's the Hick version, the Canadian Hick version. Yeah, it's a very good episode. I think pilots are hard to pull off sometimes, and Letterkenny, they did a good job with.
They nailed it. I mean, there was a few like obviously sound issues and things, but they worked through that after the pilot. There's there's little things because we didn't have a lot of money, so we had to shoot things and go.
We'd get like 2 takes sometimes.
Max.
Most times
it was like Yeah, 2 takes. If we got 3, it was like we must have really fucked up the first 2. Something went horribly wrong.
And Jacob was mad at us.
And she was mad at us. No, we had to do so much rehearsal and to know the lines. Like the way that Keese works on set. I mean, I didn't work with you guys a ton at the first season, but I know throughout the seasons that he would just be like, let's run it again. Let's run it again. Do you guys want to run it again? Let's run it again. He would just do it 100 times. And Tyler is the exact same way. Like just let's run it 400 times.
Yeah, because it's obviously very like performance-based, but it's less about being in a scene and kind of like, oh, let's try a different emotion because it's so specifically written. We have to get the flow. It's all about pace.
Yeah.
It's all about
the cadence is specific.
Exactly. It's so specific. It's like a song. It's like very sing-songy, especially with the Hicks when we're at like a round table or we're at the produce stand. Like those things, we can't miss a beat or else the whole scene is fucked. So we have to
just derailed.
It gets, so quickly. And that was really intimidating to walk in on, I will say.
I bet. Oh my God. I've seen you and Keith and stuff do that thing where it's like, he'll do, like, he's like, no, we're not going to pronounce the SH part of that word. Like, you guys get it? And he'll like really specifically, and then so you guys will all have to deliver the same word in the exact same way or else the joke is gone.
Yeah. And then we're like,
such a...
Right. And we've all like learned already for the past like 2 months. We're like, fuck. Yeah.
And then on the day, he's like, we're actually changing that one word and now it's going to be pronounced like this. It's it's really a mind fuck, but it's so effective. Like it makes it so fresh and so fun.
It does make it fun. And I'm like addicted to working that way though too. And I have to remember myself to pace down when I'm doing, especially like a dramatic audition or something where it's like, you can breathe. It's not about, but I like I've become addicted. Ew.
No, the exact same thing has happened to me every time I do an audition. I'm like, but what if it was faster?
But what if nobody took a breath?
Yeah, what if we all did it? Just overlapping lines constantly to the bitter end. Instead of a 4-minute scene, make it a 40-second scene.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Let's just like do it for fun.
Yeah, just one for fun.
Also, not me saying as an actor, I'm addicted to pace. That makes me want
to pace. No, you're disgusting. I don't want to do this podcast with you anymore. This is fucking gross.
Me saying addicted to pace and hashtag. I might as well be
take a Meisner
98 years old. God. Someone kill me. Okay, so.
How inside baseball is this going to get? I really don't know if we're going to talk about acting in that way. I'm curious. I'm excited to see.
I think it'll naturally just rear its ugly head and we'll have to deal with it. But
embarrassed, just shove it back down. Just get out of here.
Shh. Because it is inherently lame. But anyways, Okay, wait. What do you give? Oh, this is fun. What do you give episode 1, season 1 of Letterkenny out of 10?
Oh my God, we're going to rate them?
Do you want to?
I guess so. Okay. I'm going to give it a solid 8.7 because I think it heftily establishes the characters and the story is clear and it's got a nice 3-act structure and it's really classic. It's almost like Shakespearean. But then because of all of the there's some loose ends, there's some stuff like audio and things that I can't get over, and I'm gonna take some points off for that. But it's definitely it's an A+. It's in the Canadian system, 8.7 is an A+.
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? You have to rate it too now.
I know. And we're not going to rate every episode, just the pilot and then the season finale.
The pilot? Oh, well, then 10 so that I don't seem like a fucking asshole. No. I just wanted somewhere to go from here.
I don't know the rules. 10. It's so I don't know the rules. But but I think I'm similar. I think I give it a 9. I think it's like such a great intro to a show, kind of hooks you, makes you laugh. There's great music choices, which is a big deal for me.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things about Letterkenny. The music's going to be cool, you know?
Yeah, and it elevates everything else because as soon as the music's cool, you walking into a bar, slow-mo,
so cool. Come on. The work's done for you. Yeah. So, no, I do love this episode, and it was a trip to watch because it's been so long since I've seen it, but it was fun.
It is alarming to consider that now we have to watch the rest of the show. I haven't seen the entire show. I haven't seen every episode. So this is like an alarming, coming to this realization is a lot. That's a lot of show.
Yeah, it's a lot of watching ourselves and watching ourselves grow throughout the years and different characters come in and storylines that we've completely forgotten about because we did.
Oh my God.
We shot our first season 9 years ago.
I made 1 million friends on this show.
1 million.
I made 1 million friends.
Yeah.
And all 1 million of them are going to come up into my visual, and I'm going to have to think about them and my whole relationship with them.
Yeah.
Not to mention doing it with you here this whole time. Like, this is crazy.
It's crazy.
Oh, boy.
I love
what do we get
that.
ourselves into?
I don't know, but I'm excited to be here.
Me too. Hey, do you want to get to the next part of Spare Parts Podcast?
Yeah. Should we call it Spare Hearts and maybe pour ourselves a glass of wine?
That's actually such a good idea.
Just for episode one. Just to like
No, just for episode one. Just for episode one.
We're just going to have fun with it.
Let's go do it.
Okay, I'll be back.
Go do it. Okay, I'll be back too.
Cheers to Spare Hearts, episode 1.
Spare Hearts.
Gorgeous.
Was that nice?
Mm-hmm. You're drinking a Budweiser? Wow.
I know, for Letterkenny.
Yeah.
Right? This is what we used to have.
Yeah, and honestly, we'd love to have them on as a sponsor. I know it's a bit early to discuss that, but
Puppers is going to be mad. But yeah,
true. Well, we're
going to get a call. Also, is that a white wine? What are we drinking?
It is a white wine. It's a Sauvignon Blanc.
Oof, tell me about it. What are the notes?
I'm getting stone fruit, but not too sweet. Almost like a
avocado?
No. Although I kind of led you there. No, I was gonna say like almost like a like not too ripe
peach.
Apricot or peach. Yeah.
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 Oh, I got you.
It's quite nice. And what else?
That's nice. That's like a little. It's not too sweet. It's like a little bitter. It's got a little bit of like
lemon rind. There you go.
I wish I was drinking a glass of wine now. I feel like a goon drinking my Budweiser. I'm a lady.
Yeah.
Why am I drinking a glass of wine?
It's nice to be able to do both.
It's true. I can do both. I can hang.
Yeah. You can hang with the boys, the bies.
I mean, that is something that's different between my relationship with the boys and your relationship with the boys. Is I always went to those like boys' weekends at the cottage where they acted like boys.
Yeah.
Where they were boys. But you were like, you didn't want to be there.
Well, I don't think that me being there was ever on the table. Like, I think everyone knew.
I don't think you would have liked it.
No. I don't think I don't think it was for me, nor would I have wanted to crash it.
I love it.
You know?
I love cosplaying as a boy sometimes. It's so fun.
It sounds so fun.
It is so fun. Like we go ATVing and I've got like my shirt off and there's like mud all over me and I'm like, yeah. Like we're like high-fiving and like hugging and wrestling. It was really fun.
So you guys would go after every single season of Letterkenny. You guys would go. Why did this start?
Jared would just be like, "Hey, you guys want to come over to my house?" And we would just go to his house in the middle of the woods, rip around on ATVs. We'd sometimes there'd be some like fishing element. There's a lot of cooking, a lot of big family dinners.
Aww.
It was so cute. A lot of cards. Played a lot of cards. A lot of fires. And yeah, a lot of just like scream. Like I had gotten so many fights with them, which is so fun. But like we would like get in yelling matches about tons of stuff, like just anything, like opinions about things. It was so much fun. And it was such like a free place to do that because you could just yell at your friends about whatever you want. Everything's forgiven after.
That's cool.
So we had some good stuff, some good bonding moments, but it was loud.
And it was always Jared, Nate, you, Tyler, Dylan, Andrew.
Hockey. Yeah. And then sometimes there would be like another, like an extra, like another person, depending on what season it was, like Jay or like, you know what I mean? Like some other people would show up occasionally, especially later. But yeah, that was the core group that would show up every year. And at one point, Nate had hats made for us that said all of our nicknames on the side of it. And we had to wear them all weekend.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was like a bachelor party. But like
every year. This is where it's like it was summer camp in so many layers. Yeah. It's cute. I remember receiving pictures of you guys topless, covered in mud on
eating boar
ATVs.
chops. So much of the
and I was like, okay, be safe out there, guys.
No, we were always safe on the ATVs. Yeah. There was always a safety element when we were ripping on the ATVs. I mean, you know me.
Well, yeah, you're going to talk about like, safety.
Mama Bear, I'm going to show up and I'm going to be like, guys, if we're going to do this, we have to make sure that everyone's okay to do this. And then it's at the beginning of the day and da-da-da. Like I was always I'm always like that though. I just
thank God
the fun out of everything so that everyone survives.
They need you. They needed you.
Me.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Should we
let's get into it. Let's get into Spare Hearts.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so Spare Hearts is the part of the podcast where we are going to be answering questions from you guys about your life, ideally love life, because we like the tea. And
you love. You love the love life stuff.
And so do you.
Yeah, I do. But I'm also okay with questions about like a disagreement with a coworker. Like, I feel like that stuff's fun too. I want to know about your shitty boss.
Interpersonal relationship stuff that's what we're looking for. I asked on my Instagram and you guys delivered. So we got our first round of questions. So when you guys are submitting your questions, moving forward, just hit us at our email, sparepartspod@gmail.com. We're going to have it linked in our bio on Instagram. Easy. We want details. We want to know where you live. We'd like to know your age. We will leave out any information you don't want included for your own privacy. But it just kind of helps us answer these questions a bit more effectively, I feel. Yeah. So we get into our first one.
Absolutely. You have a question ready to go?
I have a question ready to go.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Here we go. I'm in love with my ex, who I share 2 children with. I know there will never be a chance again with us, as things were so bad when we were together and they're so good now that we're apart. How do I manage my feelings for her while still being an active and present part of the children's lives? I'm a 45-year-old man and the children are approximately 10 years old. We live in Australia. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
That sucks, dude.
That's really sweet. That like pulls at my heartstrings. That
Totally. I mean, as a child of divorce, right? We're both children of divorce.
God, we sure are.
We just wish our parents would get back to, but not at all though. Like, my parents were not suited for each other. This sounds like you guys may be suited for each other. Like, I kind of want you to try again, but I know if you try again, it might be fucking terrible.
I know. It's so,
the kids are more important.
Yeah. I mean, I guess my first question would be, do you have any idea if she feels the same way? Like, is there...
Of course she does. Of course she does.
Evan's about to burst into tears.
Of course she's in love with him. What do you mean? It's the father of her children. They got 10-year-olds. He's such a good dad. You can tell.
You can tell that. God, who isn't a sucker for a good dad?
Yeah, good dads are great. You know what, though? What if you wait till they're like 16 to 18? Because it does really fuck up kids if around 13, 14, their parents are fighting a lot.
Right.
So if you guys try it and it doesn't work,
right.
But if you wait till they're like 16, 18, maybe that's like love. Maybe then like the kids go off to college, you get a second shot.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can wait to have sex that long, but that's,
Okay, and I guess the question that he's asking is, how do I
Sorry,
manage...
what was the question?
Yeah, we're just absolutely distraught. How do I manage my feelings? This is about him, Evan. How do I manage my feelings for her while still being an active, present parent?
He's not even trying to get back together with her. He's trying to be a good guy and like just like trying to manage his feelings. Oh, you're way ahead of the game.
I was going to say, you are an evolved king, my friend.
Yeah,
I think you're exactly doing the right thing. You're putting first of all, you're putting your children first. You're trying to learn how to manage your own emotions so that you're not creating more of a disruption for the family unit. I think that's such a perfect instinct. I'm very proud of you.
Huge move. I'm so proud of you, dude.
So proud. So you're 45 years old. I can understand feeling like, well, if I have, and you didn't say this, I'm projecting completely, where you're like, I wonder though, because life moves quickly. And obviously in a dream world, we're able to be like 2 parents and the kids in the home, but there's so many different ways to have a life, and there's so many different ways to honor these relationships. I think if you just take it slowly, kind of continue to, you're clearly like being introspective and working on yourself, which is great. I don't know, like how could she not fall back in love with you? Yeah, no, I'm gonna say like you should do a ton of really subtle romantic gestures and pepper them throughout your life, like a P.S. I love you situation, but no one's dead. And like, and just every chance you get, just be kind to her, Just see if you can offer all that kindness that you wish you had given her before when you were together and that you didn't have the patience for before, and which resulted in this, tumultuous situation. Because obviously there was El Pasión. Oh, yeah. That's why it got so heated. I mean, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. But like maybe what you needed was a little bit more listening and kindness. And maybe you've already done that now because you have the kids and you have to communicate a lot better to organize their lives and stuff. Just like, maybe occasionally you go, I was at the pie store and I got an extra pie. I was just getting a pie anyway. Here's a peach cobbler. I got you one as well. Just a little thing here and there. Wait, here's a peach cobbler in an Australian accent.
He has a peach cobbler.
Who could resist that?
He's a peach cobbler.
Who could resist?
Honestly, do you have that in Australia? I don't even know. They don't even have peaches, do they? It's a different part of the world.
Who knows? But
did you know that the platypus only exists in Australia? Sorry. Side note.
Well, no, don't be sorry. I feel like Australia has a ton of crazy critters that no one else has.
Totally.
Thank God.
Next episode, Australia.
Next episode, we finally tackle Australia. Okay.
Australia. Sorry, so bad.
Finally, someone does it. Okay. So I will say, though, I'm rereading the message just because I want to make sure. You're saying, I know there will never be a chance again.
Oh.
I would say, never say never. Like, life is long.
Just like Justin.
Things change.
The good Justin. Never.
The one that would never ditch us. Anyways,
never do that to us 'cause he's
totally
Canadian.
over it. We're totally over it.
So over it, dude. But I was thinking about this. He is a fan because he's from Tennessee. I'm just saying. Justin Timberlake is from our demographic.
Yeah. He loves it. He wanted to. What happened?
I think he's a fan. I think we can forget it. I think he's a fan.
Okay.
He'll call us one day. He'll call you up. You just hear him on the other end of the...
It's the intro to Like I Love You. It's like, dun, 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 dun. I'm like, hello? It's like, looking good, girl. Or however that song starts. Oh, wait. No, I think it starts.
I get the same call. I'm like, hello?
Hello?
Oh.
You feel scared, girl? Right? Is that how it starts? Yeah. No, is it? Don't fear me. What? Don't feel me, baby. It's just Justin.
Biggest Justin Timberlake fan right here. This is great.
I
see what you missed out on, Justin? Do you feel bad?
Yeah, I could have come up on stage and been backup.
Totally. I could have danced for you, with you, to you.
So I think, look, advice-wise, I think you are on the right track. You're putting your kids first. That's obviously the key. And as cheesy as it sounds, I do live on the West Coast, so I do say things like this. If it is meant to be yours, it will always find you. I so believe that. Obviously, yes, free will, you've got to put like yourself out there. You've got to make choices in your life. But it sounds like you're doing all the right things. And if you guys are meant to kind of heal some wounds, so to speak, and come back together, you will.
Wow. You're still a romantic.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day.
Wow.
I know.
That's such a nice way to live.
Sometimes I seem cold and grizzled, but I'm really not.
I was going to say, you're like a... Oh, sorry.
Pardon?
You could be tough. You could be tough. Mm-hmm. You could be hard.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you got this soft, gooey inside, like a Turkish delight.
I do.
And you love. And you want them to be together so bad. You do. I can tell.
And you didn't just say I still have feelings for an ex. You said you're still in love with your
in love.
ex.
Not even love her. You're in love with her. Oh my God.
You're in love.
Okay, but like every romantic comedy I've ever seen tells me that they will find their way back together if they are meant to in the way that you were expressing. Mm-hmm. But also, like, grand gestures are great, but don't do them now. 10 years old is too young. There's too much at stake. Raise your children.
Yeah, I think just take your time with it and you'll start to kind of get a clearer answer. Like, you never know like how you're going to feel in a year if the dynamic shifts.
He literally didn't even ask us for this. He was like, how do I manage my feelings? And we're like, get back together.
I know. We're okay. So
how do you manage your feelings? Chew ice chips.
Potentially.
Masturbate like 2-3 times a day.
Evan, potentially. I was gonna say, it sounds like you're doing a good job because you're just sort of.
You're asking two actors what you should do. You're doing exactly the right thing, bud. You're killing it.
Yeah, like we probably solved this for you. I don't even know what we said.
I think you're good.
This got really derailed.
No, but that's good.
Yeah, because
they should know that we're not professionals. I think we should establish it pretty quick.
Yeah, we're not
definitely
therapists.
always talk to a therapist and then talk to us after because I think we're a great second option. Second opinion here.
And you know what my mom used to say to me when I was younger? She used to say, you can like have feelings for somebody and you don't have to do anything about it. You can just observe your feelings, be grateful that you have them, kind of
You fell in love a lot when you were younger, eh?
Totally. Like
it sounds like you had a broken heart quite a bit.
Never. Yeah. That's the thing about me. Never.
Yeah, you can't break something that's not there.
Or unless you get to it first. But
Heartbreaker, you want the best of me.
But I do think like sometimes you can just slow down and you're doing the right things. You're in their lives. be kind, like Evan said. Like if you actually want a future with her, potentially, yeah, like go that extra mile to pick up the groceries, like do those little things that are just going to make her life. Just show up and maybe prove that you're there, you're reliable, and that there's still some love there.
Yeah.
But you can also just like observe how you feel and take it one day at a time, you know?
Yeah, to be fair, like I know you're saying you have 10-year-olds now. I don't know when you broke up, but that early stage of having kids is probably so challenging on a relationship. It's so hard to have time for each other. If you guys broke up in anywhere between the baby stage and being 8 years old, that's not your fault. Having kids is so hard.
Yeah, that's so true.
You have no time for your partner.
No, you don't.
What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, it might have just been the timing. And people do get back together. Especially marriages with like children involved and stuff. Like that's such a good point, Evan. The child phase can be incredibly stressful, so don't be too hard on yourself.
It is incredible. Regardless, I feel like it's always
true.
stressful.
It's always stressful.
But whether or not you survive it as a couple is something else, right?
Yeah.
And even sometimes people go through it and they survive it, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm so jaded by that experience now that we have to break up regardless, even though we have each other back." It's like so sad.
Yeah.
We put so much pressure on ourselves to be like, "We're together, we're not together." Like it's just these rules are so strict.
Mm-hmm. They are strict,
Eesh.
and it can look different. You can reestablish that, and maybe you guys just slowly work on a friendship, and maybe that'll be enough, or maybe it'll evolve. Yeah, maybe send us an update if things change, because we will want to hear it.
Oh, we'd love an update.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fantastic. Oh my God, if people get back to us, like telling us how much our advice changed their lives.
It's kind of scary.
Really what this is about.
But just grain of salt. But yeah, keep us posted.
Oh, never do anything we suggest you do.
No.
Maybe do the opposite. It's like the George Costanza rule. Like opposite of what we say is likely the right answer. But we're going to give a lot of opinions here.
And maybe it will eventually get so good that we're just like the next Esther Perel of sorts.
Oh my God. Yeah. You could be Esther. I'll be Brene Brown. We'll do like a...
I thought you were going to say you could be Esther. I'll be Perel.
Oh my God. Yeah. That too. Or we could do that as well.
Cute. Okay. Well, thank you so much. This was stressful and fun, you know?
It was so fun. It was only fun, exclusively fun.
That's shocking. You're always stressed out. This made you have no stress?
New Evan. Welcome. New Evan.
Cool.
Yeah,
really
I'm gonna
nice
blanket
to
for
meet
it.
you.
I feel very cozy. Maybe this is like doing a womb thing for me. It's like a in utero situation. Like I'm just feeling very contained.
Very secure. Yeah, Evan did some soundproofing and he's under a duvet at the moment. And I think you sound great. It worked.
Give me a sound to do. I'll do it. Any sound you get to go.
Cade, can you do the water droplet thing? That's actually impressive.
Thank you.
You did a really good job. You're a great
I
actor,
appreciate that.
Evan.
You did a really great job of this podcast and of picking the questions. I will say Michelle will always pick the questions. I'm not going to say heartless to pick the questions, but I definitely don't have the time to read them appropriately. I would not do a good job.
And unfortunately, I've got all the time in the world. So this works out perfectly.
Somebody hire this girl.
God damn it.
She's got a US rep, okay? Someone reach out to her. For
and
God's
my
sakes.
papers. Come on.
You have 01? You have an 01?
Yeah, I have 01.
You have 01?
I have 01.
Yo, guys, hire her as a local. She'll work as a local.
Yeah.
She'll do it.
No, what I really want to do is, well, we'll discuss it.
Meet Justin Timberlake?
I want to be on tour with Justin Timberlake is actually what I want.
Someday.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 1.
Thanks,
this was really fun, and we can't wait to hear back from you guys how you feel about this. We want to hear from you. Can't wait to chat, connect on social media, whatever, you know?
Yeah, let us know because we really, again, we crave validation. We need the attention. Let us know. Give us all of that in the reviews on Spotify and Apple Music and whatever the heck you find this on. Like, just let us know because I will read all the reviews. Even though I'm not going to read your questions, I'll read your reviews.
That's great. Actually, that's what you can do.
You
can look at the reviews and then I won't because I'll get too stressed out. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll wreck you. They're just going to be like, oh my God, her voice is so perfect. She sounds like a character from a cartoon.
Okay.
That's what my wife was saying. She heard a little bit of you talking the other day. She was like, her voice is flawless. She sounds like Polly Pocket.
My God.
She said your voice sounds like bubble gum.
That's insane. As if I could love your wife more. Alana is
She's sick.
so chic. I was like, every time I see her in an outfit, I go, damn it. she wins
she's
again.
Cool. She just started doing Depop. Like she just started selling clothes because she's really into like 2000s Prada. So she's been like buying all this like vintage Prada, and like she just took all the pictures today, and I was like, oh my God, you look amazing in everything. Just keep it. You look great.
But also send me because I want her to style me.
It's good stuff. It's cool. And you guys have you guys have a similar kind of like look when you go out, when you do like a thing.
Well, it's because we're Capricorns.
Yeah, it's because you're Capricorns. No, it's because you're cool and hot. Shut up.
And it's because we're Capricorns.
What's a Capricorn?
We don't have enough time, but we will be going to Australia.
We'll God, Australia and Capricorns in next episode.
I meant astrology. I'm tired. Okay, or maybe I'm drunk. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Evan, I love you so much.
Love you so much.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, love ya. Bye.
Love ya. Bye.